Okay, hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video is a little bit different. It's a breakdown, but it's of a HVV game that I actually had with BB-8, and I managed to get MVP this round, which is really nice. So I was very excited to bring this to you guys. I've also got a pretty decent kill streak with BB-8 in Galactic Assault recently as well, so I'll keep persisting with it, try and get some bigger runs, and then try and put some of this stuff together for a hero guide. So if you guys want to see hero guides, let me know in the comments, and I'll certainly try and do one for the new droids. I was just using the start here because his passive ability gives you basically 3 battle points right off the bat, which is nice, or 3 points and score, which is certainly helping me in my quest for MVP. So I can also tell you the cards I use for BB-8. So the first one, I don't know the names of his cards because, yeah, but the first one was extra health regen, and then his 2 cable spin cards, one that decreases the cooldown on it if you hit at least 2 enemies with it, and the other card was extra damage and radius on the cable spin, which I think it's his best ability. So yeah, any chance of buffing that is always good. Another good card you can use is damage reduction during the rolling charge. That's quite a good card as well. And the rolling charge is really good for blaster heroes, as you can see from the footage right there. So I guess I want to spend most of the time sticking as close to my teammates as possible. Managed to get Vader with that cable when he wasn't turned around. Using that resistance backing left ability as much as it's available is really helpful too, because it highlights your enemies, takes you off the minimap, and it also makes them more vulnerable to damage. Luckily I escaped from that Kylo and managed to kill Boba because he had no idea what he was doing, and then I got saved by my good buddy Sturm with Lando. Now one thing I've noticed with the rolling charge is if you hold it down for too long, it gets to a stage where it still does the animation, but it won't actually deal any damage because, I don't know, it must be some bug in the game. So you just got to keep that in mind. You only want that to be for short distance things. And the shock prod's really good for jumpy blaster heroes. While they're in mid-air, they can't block it, so you can easily get some quick damage on them, which, like I did there, managed to kill that Kylo. But yeah, like I said, partying up with other people makes it a lot easier to stick close to your teammates, but you want to be doing that as much as possible, because BB-8 and BB-9 as well can be very vulnerable in a one-on-one if you haven't got any teammates supporting you. That Dooku got absolutely yeeted. So yeah, the rolling charge is really good because it knocks enemies off their feet, which is really useful. And one thing I didn't know, but I've worked that out now, is that, as you can see there, Phasma's droid can take you out of the cable spin. So that's definitely one of the characters you want to watch out for, is Phasma, specifically just for the droid. And Kylo's another one. His pull freeze combo can be really deadly, so you got to be extra careful around Kylo's. Plus everyone knows how the state of Darth Vader at the moment, although now that he's low on health I might be able to get him. So a good tactic for weak saber heroes, like I demonstrated a bit there, is to give him 1 or 2 quick prods with the shock prod, and then dodge to the side, and then turn around and prod him again, and just deal your damage. Like, it's going to take a while, but you can chip away at his health, and then if you've got some teammates backing you up that can deal some quick damage, you can finish him off pretty easily. Don't know how the cable spin goes with like uneven terrain like that, if it still registers damage or not. I don't think it does, but so it's probably best to try and reserve that for even ground. I'm trying to do the same thing with this Vader again, is give him 1 or 2 quick shock prods and then dodge around. I definitely think that after playing these droids a fair bit, like I've maxed out BB-8's cards. I think the best way to utilize this shock prod is by tapping the button on and off rather than holding it down. It just seems to, at least in HVV, it seems to work better that way. Against infantry, you can hold it down, no problems. But I think against villains like the Vader that I just killed then, tapping it's definitely a better option. And the one good thing about BB-8 as well is his shock prod and his cable spin go through Grievous's unrelenting advance. So if there's a Grievous that's unaware of that fact, then you can actually take him out relatively easily, or at least deal a substantial amount of damage to him. As you can see here, I'm damaging him through the unrelenting advance and I get the kill. So that's I don't know if that's an intentional feature or not, but it definitely gives BB-8 a little bit of well, not so much an advantage against Grievous, but it's definitely something that he's can use to his advantage to help him out. So I think I'm mostly just relying on his abilities to get a lot of these kills, only using the shock prod to sort of stun enemies and stop them from attacking, or to deal a little bit quick damage when they're really weak like Grievous is now. Just keeping yourself on the move as much as possible and making yourself hard to hit. Because it's the hardest part for the enemies is actually just finding you on the map. Like, they can't see you. It's easier for them to see the icon. And that rolling charge can one-shot heavies, so it's really good for villains as well as the cable spin, obviously. And of course, by sticking close to my teammates, I'm giving them reduced cooldowns on their abilities constantly. Especially with the way the light side works, is really useful with, you know, Finn's big deal and Lando's disabler and things like that. It's really good against saber heroes. That was an annoying bug that happened just there. They friggin' got hit by a sabers while I was frozen, but it didn't take me out of the freeze, which is quite annoying, but what can you do? So my first objective here after I die is to just find my teammates and go straight to where they are. I don't want to be trying to take a full health hero on in a one-on-one. Luckily Kylo just popped up right in front of me, and comboing the rolling charge and the cable spin takes him out. Then I can get some nice hits in the back of Vader while he's preoccupied. Only got a couple kills left to go. So yeah, I definitely think he can still be viable in HVV. You just got to be real careful and utilise his abilities and his movement using the dashes, which it doesn't really look like you're actually dashing, but you are. Using them as much as possible and sneaking up on heroes when they're not looking. Like this Grievous is clearly not looking. I was a bit unlucky not to get the kill on him actually. One thing you can probably do with some of the higher jump villains like Palpatine, Vader, is you can predict where they're going to land and get the rolling charge in on them where they can't block it and they get knocked over. But anyway, that's going to do it. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay, and if you want a BB-8 hero guide, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.